Hello, welcome to my series where we talk about a card. This week's jam is the Eight of Swords. And yes, you can see that she is in a jam. Swords represent element air, and air is connected to the mind, which is all about discernment, using a more analytical approach. And swords also are connected to conflicts that we experience. With the Eight of Swords, you're kind of your own worst enemy. I read this, and this is probably something I got from Mary Greer or Rachel Pollack, is that you've been sort of like outcasted from this place, or you have had to leave somewhere that you no longer belong. And you're like, well, where the hell do I go from here? But as you can see, this figure is bound loosely, and there is a way forward. They're just refusing to see. The sword surrounding this person can represent the conflicts, fears, and thoughts that this person has. But as you can see, the swords are in the ground and are not of a threat to this person. The fact that they're blindfolded feels to me like the answers are deep within, but you're failing to act on them. I mean, like anything, life is a process, right? So just take a few steps and see what happens. The blindfolded figure can also suggest that you're not seeing everything that's going on. Look to surrounding cards to gain context in the reading about what it is that you might be missing that's happening in your life. On a physical level, or even a spiritual level, this figure looks paralyzed, so this card can be about paralysis. I also looking at the wrappings and thinking about like, oh geez, this looks like when you break your arm or something. And you got an annoying cast. But I think it's important to talk about these kind of like oddball fortune tellery type of things that you may get from the cards, because whenever you do a reading, it's really important to tap into how you see the card in that moment. I mean, maybe you see this as incarceration with the swords. Maybe you see this as domestic violence. And that all can be determined by how you, the reader, are projecting onto the card, whether that be your own experience or if you're reading for someone else, the experience that they are projecting onto the card. In my deck, the Colorful Tears Tarot, I've renamed this card the Eight of Scissors. This card, the figure is distraught and they're focusing more on what they lack versus what they have. What they have are some pretty cool scissor hands that they can do all kinds of things with that normal hands cannot. So instead of staying trapped in a mentality of frozenness and immobility, the suggestion is to move forward using the gifts and the tools that you have. In my guidebook for this deck, there's lots of information, and the Eight of Scissors says that your entrapment is an illusion. So get out of there. Happy tarot reading, my friends.